Hey everyone, Brandon here, and time for more Brandon's Boy Problems. Today's episode's about my friendships. I feel like as we get older, we realize like friendships definitely change with time. People get married, they have kids, move away. Like you're not gonna be as close to like people that you used to be close with, but you still value and hold on to that friendship because again, it's like you spent so much time with that person, they still mean a lot to you. You have memories, the value of that friendship doesn't generally decrease, even if your closeness does, but in reality it does sometimes change your place in people's life. Like in MySpace days, you all had like a top 8 and then people took that really seriously, like who are my top friends, who do I value the most, who I like the most, and you definitely feel upset about it if you realize like someone that you put in your top doesn't put you in their top. And also like even as you get older, it doesn't really change. Like we're still doing top 8s with like if you choose a bridesmaid and who is your maid of honor. That clearly indicates who is your closest friend, who do you trust the most with this position, who do you value the most. And some people do choose like siblings over friends and whatnot. I feel like that's understandable, but like when you are someone that, like me, I'm an only child, so it's like I don't have siblings, so it's always going to be like my best friends and like which best friends qualify for being in the top placement. Like I feel like that's all the ultimate, who is your ultimate best friend when you have to choose a bridesmaid or a best man and whatnot. But I just feel like lately I've just been questioning a lot of like friendships and older friendships and what direction these friendships are going in, since it does feel like having to reconcile this now with things that have been happening in my life. Like one friend that had a huge 30th birthday party and I wasn't invited to. Yeah, I saw the friend a week previously. We went out to lunch for his birthday and I paid and treated him to lunch for his birthday. But then I realized a week later I'm not invited to his huge birthday bash where he invited literally every single one of his closest friends. Some people even came from across the country and even friends from like high school that we have in common. But for some reason I wasn't just not invited. I wasn't even told about the event and had to find out on social media, which definitely does hurt, and it does kind of make me feel question like, okay, I'm not invited. And honestly, I know why I'm not invited. Like, I made issue in the past where, like, I don't like some of his other friends. I don't like hanging out with them. I don't want to be around them. I don't like that. Like, and also I've had negative encounters with some of them. And I just kind of feel like if there's a choice, I will choose not to be around them. So I see I was not invited because it seems as though, like, people assume like if I was invited I wasn't gonna come, or if I was invited I would have caused drama, even though I never can recall an opportunity where I caused an actual physical altercation or a big dramatic fight with any of his friends. If anything, I had those with my actual friend, not his friends that I don't care for. So that in itself kind of makes me feel like, okay, how do people really view me if they think I'm the type that's gonna have like a physical confrontation with someone at a party that's not me? Like, this isn't Real Housewives or Married to Medicine. Like, I've never like really had a physical altercation with other people, especially not like a friend's friend. But I mean, I do have a difficult personality, so I don't vibe well with everyone. But I just feel like it gets hurtful to a point where it's like, okay, your friends are having big milestone events and you're excluded. Like, you're not even given the opportunity to choose if you want to attend. It's just like, we're not going to invite you because we just feel like you would bring negativity and drama. And it is definitely hard to hear like that's how your friends view me, or my friends view me. Like, I'm that person that people don't want around because I think all I am is negativity and drama. It's like I never, I guess, viewed myself that way. It's like I can see their perspective, especially after confronting them about it and discussing it with them. But it's also just like, that's not who I am or who I view myself as or what I want to view myself as. So it is just a very difficult reconciliation of feelings and emotions and processing. Like, I feel like I'm still processing why have things gotten to this point. And I do feel like I do have to take accountability for it, because again, I have chosen to exclude myself from events. Like, I skipped another friend's birthday because I didn't like that it seemed like the event was literally all of our other friends and not the actual person whose birthdays it was friends. And I feel like that reminded me of an incident with my own birthday with this friend 2 years ago, where I felt like they took over my birthday to make it all about them and their friends, and that just ruined the encounter for me and did cause a rift in our friendship. And I feel like it was giving me deja vu, and I was just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with this. And I did make that very publicly known on social media and in my, I mean, I have discussed things in my blog as well, but I don't write in my blog anymore. But yeah, so it's just a lot of processing and placements. And also the fact that our mutual friends there, it was kind of just like, no one was really like, they missed me there or cared that I wasn't there, which also made me feel some type of way, even though I hate people say some type of way, like to know what the actual emotion is. But I just felt like it came like, okay, it's not like I'm not told about something, I'm not invited, it's planned in months and I'm kept in the dark about it. So there's purposely like people communicating, not telling me or making sure I don't find out. And then it's like, no one even cared. Well, of course they didn't care if they purposely plotted to make sure I wasn't there, but also just like people that maybe weren't part of the plotting that I'm friends with just didn't care that I wasn't there either. Or like, does no one ask? Does no one care? Like, what is going on? But yeah, so it just makes me really question, because it's like, I've always valued my friendships as like my closest relationship since, again, this is my longest relationship I've ever been in, and this is less than a year. I have friendships, the majority of my close friendships have lasted over a decade. Like my high school friendships were like 15 years now. My college friendships are over 10 years now. So it's like, I've always valued those friendships and valued myself as someone that keeps long friendships and maintains long friendships. But it seems to gotten to a point where it's like, although the friendship does have length, the quality is definitely deteriorated in the attachment in the friendship. And I feel like that's the hardest part to deal with. It's just like, I still value those friendships highly because they've always been a part of my life and like a stable part of my life. But now to realize like that stability isn't as stable as I thought it was, and their value of our friendship isn't the same as the way I valued it, makes me have to question like, moving forward, what are things going to be like? Because these are like people that I always thought would be there like in my wedding or for huge milestone events, and that I would always invite to be around. And then it's like, if they aren't inviting me to their big milestone events, why would I invite them to mine? Or why am I still valuing a friendship that doesn't like me? So it's just a lot of that questioning, like, oh wow, what is the future going to look like with something that's been in my life for over half my life? Like, I'm 30 now. I've been friends with these people since like 15, 16. And then it's like, if that is not here by the time I'm 45, like, what does the future hold? And it's like, do I want to sacrifice these friendships or do I want to repair them? And like, it's a lot to process and deal with. Like, I never imagined to be in this situation before, because I guess sometimes you do take relationships for granted, or I've taken friendships and relationships for granted and been like, I did not ever expect this person to no longer be a part of my life. But I've always realized, like, again, that's life. Not everything lasts forever, whether it's relationship, friendship, family. People die, relationships change, people go away, and things just obviously are not the same as they once were. So things do obviously change, but we have to either choose to put in the effort to maintain it or let it go. So it's definitely a big thing to deal with, and a realization I'm coming to and wondering what the future holds, since again, I still value my friendships, and friendships are extremely important to me, since again, I've never been this is a new relationship for me. So I've always just had friendships were my biggest relationships in my life, like closer to my friends than my family, closer to my friends probably than even like past relationships. So it's like my friends have always been the friendships or like relationships I value the most in my life. So it's definitely difficult realizing like you're a bad friend or I'm a bad friend, and what is going to happen with my friendships in the future. So thanks for joining me for this episode of Branden's Boy Problems.